Alexander Dunn here, planning better bike adventures using Google Maps. This is part 10. So in parts 1 through 9, I gave you a lot of tools about how to plan your bike route. And let's say during that time, you've spent a lot of time looking at the path or some of the possible paths that you might take using the different tools we talked about to get to, in my case, the Seattle area, all the way out to Neah Bay. And I've learned some things using Street View and the bicycle settings. I've looked at some of the different campgrounds, reviews, and photographs of users, and I start to have a sense of where I want to go on this trip. Now, there's one thing that Google allows me to do that I think is a great tool. And again, if you need to have a Google account and be logged in, just like I am up here, here's my little picture letting me know that I am logged in. If you want to know more about that, watch part 9. And what I'm going to actually do is on some of the locations where I know there are maybe some tricky places or some places I don't want to miss, I'm going to actually go in and I'm going to star these locations. For instance, there's this bike route here as marked in brown. And I know I want to get on that bike route. Well, here's a way that I can give myself a little sort of reminder that this is an important spot in the trip. If I right-click the mouse right where I want to be here, it's going to give me a pop-up menu. And one of the things is what's here. And what's here is going to give me some geographical information about this spot. It's going to try to give me a street number. This is a highway, so it's giving me a slight range of numbers. It's going to tell me what municipality or town this section of road is in. And more importantly for my needs, it's going to give me a latitude and longitude. And if I click that latitude, longitude, it's going to put a pin on the map right where I talked about it, right where I wanted it. You can see I actually was a little bit off there, so maybe I'll even move it a little bit closer because I'm more zoomed in here. What's here? Click that lat long, and there it is. It's going to mark right where this bike trail, the Olympic Discovery Trail, leaves Highway 112. Because I'm logged in, it's going to give me the option to save it. And saving is just clicking that little gold star or turning that star gold. It's a toggle. Save, and then it says saved, and it lights up gold. Now, if I clear that latitude, longitude, if I clear that click on the map, you're going to notice that that gold star is going to stay put on those latitude and longitude lines right where I told it to stay. I could zoom all the way out, and I can still see my little gold star. Now, that star is telling me that I need to get to that point because that's where the bike trail starts. I can do this for a whole bunch of different reasons. For instance, there's a section over here as we talked about in my video series a couple videos ago here where I said this campground looks kind of nice. I may go ahead and right click it, say what's here. It's going to say this is Fairholme Campground in Port Angeles, and I'm just going to go ahead and click those latitude longitudes, and I'm going to say save. Now again, when I clear that click, it's going to leave a little gold star on my map. Now, I may not know exactly what that gold star is. That's one problem. So maybe this is a destination, but maybe it's also something that I may or may not need. Like let's say a grocery store. Along this route, I'm going to want to food up along the way here. And it looks like while I'm out here, this may be, this may be one of my last chance Laird's Corner Market. This may be one of my last chances before I get on this bike trail. So I may want to click on Laird's Market, and I may want to save it. But this isn't something I necessarily have to get to. If I have plenty of food, because maybe I bought food back here in Port Angeles at a larger market, I may not need Laird's Market. So maybe a star is going to be a little confusing. And instead of a star, I can actually go down here and add a label. And a label for me might just say food. Add a label there. So now, as well as a star, when I zoom in on this little guy, it's going to say food. So I know that this star, and also, of course, when I click on it, it's also going to pop it up as Laird's Corner Market, is more than just a destination, but it is a place that may help me out as I'm traveling along. You'll also remember when we talked about using satellite maps, I found something kind of interesting back over here, which was that there is a bridge over the Elwha River that doesn't appear in regular old Google Maps. Let me see. Oh, excuse me, was it the Soul Duck River? I think it was right here. If I switch over to the satellite view, let's just see. There it is, right there. See, now I'm having trouble remembering it, but I did remember that if I could find this bridge, it would save me a whole lot of biking down and around. I could cut over from this forest road to this forest road very easily. So here's a situation where if I right-click on this bridge and say, what's here? And then I go and I click, remember, I'm going to click on these latitude, longitude, links to this latitude, longitude numbering, and I'm going to save it. Now again, when I clear it, when I go back to map view, look at this. There's going to be a star in the middle of the Soul Duck River. And what I can actually end up doing is leaving myself what I would call breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs of stars. I can go through, and at every place where I think there might be a tricky turn, a place where there's a little bit of confusion where two roads meet, I'm going to leave myself a star at the junction, and then I'm going to leave a star up the road. So I know that I'm sort of biking to stars, star to star to star. In some cases, this is actually going to give me a little hint that, hey, there's a place that I can cross here, and it's going to save me a whole lot of time. So this is a way of using Google's feature of saving places to make yourself a breadcrumb trail to help you with your next bike adventure.